So our remaining playoff teams definitely did not find themselves in a post-Turkey Day food coma. All 6 that we have left won by lopsided scores, including mercy rule wins for our 2 6-man programs, Jonesboro and Oglesby. Nevertheless, we recognize that we're probably not going to come away with 5 state champions. And the reason I say 5 instead of 6 is because, of course, Mart and Chilton are in the same division. So we can't get 6. Some of our teams have an expiration date in these last 3 weeks. So which of them has the toughest game in round 4, do you guys think?
Well, the obvious answer is Lorena, right? But I think Marlin Toller is probably also going to be a pretty tight game, and Jonesboro is playing Gordon, who beat Abbott. So that's also, I think, a tough matchup. And when I say Marlin has a tough game against Toller, that's the team that knocked him out of the playoffs last year. And
convincingly, yeah.
Yeah. And while I think that the Bulldogs are a better team this year, and I mentioned this in my column, they just have had a tendency to hurt themselves all year long with just little mistakes. And so I think that's just a pretty tough matchup, but also a game that, has a lot of weight to it. So, yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because they shot themselves in the foot several times in the Coleman game, and they saw a 36 lead turn into a 30-28 survival in that game. And honestly, kind of surprised Coleman didn't get the 2-point conversion that would have tied it. So, and then they come back the next week, and okay, they fumbled twice in the first quarter when they were going in to score. So yeah, they hurt themselves a little bit there, but they recovered from that and really dominated the game. It was one of those sucker type of games when I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to believe in them. I'm going to be like, okay, they're going to completely flip the script on Toller this week. Like part of me thinks that very well could happen. And I'm excited to cover the game tomorrow night. Now, if I was an objective observer, if I was outside the coverage area, if I was outside of, shaking Ruben Torres' hand and talking with Jameer Hartsfield and those kids and things like that, I'd probably be like, easy pick, Toller, Go ahead, Bryce.
I did pick the Rattlers, but I'm with you guys that clearly Marlin is better than they were last year. I don't think it'll be, what'd you say the score was?
71-18.
71-18. It's not going to be 71-18 again. Mm-hmm. That said, it's a tough game for a reason.
Yeah, and I think that is the toughest challenge that any of our teams face this week. Falls City, I don't think they were a ranked team at the end of the regular season that Chilton plays. I may have overlooked it. Maybe they were, but
no, I don't think so. They're 9-3 or 10-3 now. And talking with Benny Hewitt yesterday when I was out in Chilton, he's really impressed with their quarterback. He's not big, but he is fast, and so I said, "Oh, so you're going to have a spy on him?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." They're definitely going to have their eyes on the Falls City quarterback. That said, I do like Chilton in that game. I like Mart to win.
Which would give us Chilton Mart next week.
It would. Now the Chilton Falls City game, I think, I don't see Chilton going out and winning 45-0 like they did last week against Granger. But and back to Lorena for a second. I mean, we talked about the Lorena Columbus winner potentially being like the state favorite now. I certainly think that you could put the Leopards in that category, but as DJ,
I think that's true. I think that's the case.
Yeah, but as DJ said, I mean, this opponent does jump off the page a little bit. They are the 2-time defending state champions.